the good thing about us is we don't make music that's really just for the times, and then it kind of like, that's it. People are still bumping stuff off of this. This came out 2004. In 2 years, that's 10 years.
Alright, so do you remember at what point you said like, boom, do you know what? Let's get a mixtape popping.
Well, what happened was we got down with the Diplomats first, then we got down with Roc A Fella. So we was in England, running around doing a lot of stuff with Dame. So the minute he brought us to the States, what was that, 2004 summer? 2004 summer, we thought, now we got to put a mixtape together. But the reason we put so many big songs on this mixtape was because Cam had told us Roc A Fella was about to fold at the end of the year. So all the songs we'd done with Roc A Fella, we kind of figured out like nothing's gonna get done with them, the label's gonna fold, so we might as well just fling them out. So we was in the office one day and where was we?
I think it was in Big Face Gary's office.
Yeah, Big Face Gary's office. And Mega was looking around some CDs near him, I remember. Big Face comes in the room.
Hey, get away from those. What are you doing around there? What are you doing over there? So I didn't even think it was anything. I just thought there was just some promo CDs. But as soon as he was like, oh, you shouldn't be over there, whatever. That's when I was like, what you got over there? So I started rummaging. And that's when I came across a CD that said S.A.S. Quad Studio recording. Like it was a CD. Was it Quad? No, Sound of Sound. Sound of Sound Studios recording, whatever. So I was like, okay then. I know what this is. So I was the master of all the joints that we had done within the 5 days when we did like 15 tracks. So I was like, yeah, it's coming home with Papa, boy. So I just grabbed that out the bag real quick.
Other people's albums was there, like Beans, who else? Like Young Guns album. A couple of people's albums was there. We just took our discs,
yeah, just got to it.
Threw them in a bag, took them to the Diplomat studio, and then loaded them up. So that's how we got all our songs.
That was it, and then we just did a couple freestyles as well, just the current songs that we was rating at the time, and then that was it, boy. That's how Who Dares Wins came about.
But as far as the cover, the recording, paying for the whole CD, we did all of that ourselves. Duke went halves with me on the cover, and then afterwards we gave it to Duke the God, because at the time he had Dipset Mixtapes, which was a big Diplomat website around that era. And they manufactured the CD, put the CD up, and then started selling them, and they sold it. They sold a lot of these CDs.
Do you want to give the numbers up?
About 20,000 in the end. That's how our initial buzz in the United States started, in different states. Because anywhere the Diplomats was popping, the fan base was popping at, they was ordering our CD to see what the new UK guys was about.
And the Roc A Fella tape, that Warriors tape was, don't even think about it, that was a track on the mixtape. Was on that was the intro to the Warriors 4 tape, and that was everywhere, ridiculous. It was getting all kinds of spins from a lot of DJs, underground DJs and all that, all around the States and in Europe, and obviously the UK as well.
So remember any initial feedback of the first mixtape?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
We just opened the source and just saw it in there. I think it was the Jadakiss issue.
Yeah, Jadakiss issue, the source.
And then it was just there, that featured mixtapes, and they gave it a good rating as well.
No, it wasn't featured mixtapes, it was the hottest street albums out at the time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was 5 of them, and Who Dares Wins was one of them. And we didn't send it to the source. So that's when we kind of had an inkling of what type of buzz we had in the United States. But at the time we was back here in London, when this actually dropped. We just recorded it there and did everything there in the studio. All the features was from over there. And yeah, when it actually dropped though, we was in the UK. So we didn't really know the damage it was even actually doing in the States. But open that Source magazine, it was there.
But in the UK, like, how was the feedback on that? How did you get the feedback?
In the UK, it took longer because the whole mixtape market and that is popping off over there. When we came back here, we sold, what did we sell at these? About 1,000?
Yeah.
We sold about 1,000 ourselves through our website and did what we was doing. But it wasn't until we thought, how do we get Who Dares Wins in HMV? And with this type of cover, this type of mixtape, it was cool to sell it from websites and that, but not to go in HMV. So what we did was Street Source Salute. And that Street Source Salute was the mixtape album version of Who Dares Wins. So by the time Street Source Salute came out, these were getting bootlegged in all the markets and stuff where they get regular American mixtapes. So we was coming back to England on an import type of flex.
Yeah, that was in Wembley Market heavy as well.
Yes, and then Wretch told me it was in Tottenham and Scorcher. When we met Wretch and Scorcher, they said, yeah, this is the mixtape we like. And I didn't even know they heard it. They said, yeah, they got it from their local bootlegger. So it wasn't until we put Streets or Salute mixtape album in HMV, it went crazy out here. But we did the videos and stuff like Top of the Globe, Cheerio, on them roads.
On the roads, yeah.
Those type
But
of
we had
videos.
a couple complications, with the distributor, so we cut it short. We was gonna shoot a couple other videos from it. We was gonna shoot, what was we gonna shoot? We was gonna shoot Love Don't Live Here, innit?
Yeah.
For that. And I think Can You Feel Me, because a lot of people felt that track as well. Tarantula, Streets or Salute, the self-titled track, that one. There was a lot of joints on there that people wanted. But yeah.
So what tracks was you feeling the most off the mixtape?
Of this
Or what tracks
mixtape,
do you come back to?
I'll say You're in the Army Now. That was one of my favourite.
Yeah, You're in the Army Now, Don't Even Think About It. Everyone still loves that intro on this.
That's
The intro on this
Come on.
is
Flyboys.
that intro on this I think is 101 for punchline rap. Basically, when we did this intro, people in this there was in the people.
6-shot 20 gauge pump, turn your brains into trifle.
Yeah, there was people in the studio that was looking at
Wig
us
on
like, who are these London guys? What are they going? What are they doing? They doing a mixtape? Who are they? Like, as soon as I got like 8 bars into the intro, you can see their faces in the studio like, oh, these guys are crazy. So.
Well, there's a couple tracks on there.
Where I'm From's on here. The track with Jim's on here.
Top of the Globe was on there as well. Yeah, Back Up Against the Wall. That was a classic. Him on Nicole Ray, but when people heard that, that was the summer jam.
So I got a lot of my
that
female fan base
held us down a few summers. That joint. That track was so mad. That I was like, I don't want no parts of it. They was like, oh, I'll do it, because I was running around handling business, and I came back to the studio and I heard that. And I was like, oh, do you want to throw a 16 or an 8 on it? I was like, nah, man. That would be like trying to jump in bed while 2 people were like going at it. So I was just like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. Just left it at what it was, and the shit's classic. I wrote that till this day, and that's how many years later? Like what, 8 years?
Yeah.
8 years later.
The good thing about us is we don't make music that's really just for the times, and then it kind of like, that's it. People are still bumping stuff off of this. This came out 04. In 2 years, that's 10 years. So
it's a decade. I've been in this game for years.
So
made me an animal.
Timeless music. That's the good thing I like about it. People still hit us on Twitter like, oh, for Who Dares Wins and stuff like that. A lot of people say it's their favorite mixtape as well, but I believe it was the best situation we was in at the time, because we was all over the place. TRL, on all the music channels in America, running around Power 105, Hot 97. You know what I mean? Making all the American runs. So.
Would you say that's been a helpful hindrance?
Huh?
Would you say that was a helpful hindrance?
What?
Because in hindsight, if we look at it, that's undisputedly the first mixtape that come out in the UK.
What, this one?
Yeah.
We did before this. We did a crew mixtape. The Example.
Yeah, that was the
original Eurogang mixtape. With all of us on the front wearing white t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
That's the original.
That's the original. That's the one that had that Eurogang.
That's the one. Yeah, fam. The one with the white t-shirt.
Yeah, one with the white t-shirt. With bronze and black. Yeah.
The white t-shirt gang. Bro.
Yeah, so that's the one that's got Eurogang on it, doing fine on it, and all those stuff we released earlier on. So that was our first crew mixtape, but this is our first actual.
That's your
duo
first,
Mega and Mayhem mixtape.
Mega and Mayhem.
No, because it was that mixtape there and the Execution Squad in it. Those was the first two that was really on road.
Really about
they
it.
Had they had the street team shit on Smash, boy. They had them independent units going early, boy. They want to rave, you wouldn't come outside, you wouldn't see them man on the front line, boy, getting off them tapes, boy. So definitely.
Yeah, because when we came up in high school in America, like that was the whole thing. That's how people got about, was mixtapes and stuff like that. So when we can move back here in 01, that was more or less our mentality. That was the way we was doing stuff, like freestyles and stuff. All the stuff people doing now, we've been doing since, because that's what they were doing in the States. So we just took the whole blueprint and did it the same way.
Even jumping on R&B records and then just like copy and paste that, putting your verse in it and then just getting it out there. We was doing that.
Yeah, he did that with a T-Drum Moses record.
That span out of control.
Master Steps went mad on it, on Choice FM, to the point TVT called us up and said, what's going on? You've got a track.
That's not even the next single.
It's not even a single, and it's spinning more than the single's supposed to be spinning on Choice. So, and we're called T-Drum Moses to this day because of it and all that. So, those are the good era, the good times.
Good era, yeah.
So what would you say has changed from then till now?
It's just so many people are rapping now, which isn't a bad thing because it beats being on the street shooting and selling drugs, you get me? But at the same time, it's like we gotta have some sort of quality control. We gotta separate the artists that really want to do this music shit and the ones that are just doing it just to try and be like, hey, look at me, I rap. Like, they want to be famous, they want hood notification, I don't know, glorification, I don't know, but I think that with so many artists rapping, like it's like even fans have started to rap now, so there's less fans, there's like more rappers. If everyone raps, then we're the consumers. See what I'm trying to say? And on top of that, the playlist is harder to get on because there's a lot of artists that are signed now, so there's going to be artists that will get on the playlist more likely because they're signed, and the radio station is going to get favors to do with the label and all that extra politics that I don't want to get into because that's a whole nother interview. But yeah, so it's harder for independent artists to get on the playlist or even get specialist plays if they're not known. So it's kind of got, but there's DJs out there that's supporting regardless, like there's underground DJs and there's DJs that's on like 1Xtra and good big stations that will support you just because they like the music. So you know, there's a lot of opportunities. There's just different angles, there's different ways of going about it now. There's so many different forums, there's Twitter, there's Facebook. You know, MySpace is a bit dead, but you know, there's other outlets, YouTube videos, doing blogs, just uploading whatever you're doing on a day-to-day, Instagram. By the time this drops, there's probably going to be a next one. So there's always different angles, and you just got to work with your strengths, whatever you're good at, what you're doing, you know. Some people are artists that may not be so dope, like lyrically, or have great songs, but they've got a whole image, they've got a way that they look that comes along with the whole package. They've got a sound, they've got a producer that's an in-house producer that makes a certain sound and beat, and so it's just, everyone, you know, everything's different now. So you just gotta really just do what you do at the best of your ability, and the rest is in God's hands, really. That's it.
What are some of your favourite, like, what would you consider to be some classic UK mixtapes?
Blade's first mixtape, Ill Mill's first mixtape, Salute Me When I Pass.
Yeah.
They actually got a lot of radio spins. He was all over the radio. That I remember everyone liked that on my bits. And
Stay Free, Get Lizzy was one.
Was that since first tape?
That was first tapes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember since.
Salute When I Pass, that was the first one from
no, that was his first one. Don't know. Who's first one?
Who had first mixtapes? I've got to think so far back now. Suede's first mixtape was hard. This is my demo.
Yeah.
This is my demo was his first one, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
the one with the
bandana.
with the bandana.
That mixtape was doing its stuff. Who else did a mixtape that was their first? And it's the first time I got onto them. I like Scorcher and Rich's first mixtapes. Their mixtapes was crazy. What was Scorcher? Simply the Best.
Simply the Best Volume 1, I think.
Yeah. And I can't remember, what was Rich's called? It wasn't Retrospective.
No, Retrospective was the mixtape album. Learn From My Mixtape, I think, was his first one.
I think it was Learn From My
That's the first one I heard.
Yeah.
That
was the first one, Learn From My Mixtape.
That was hard.
Yeah. Learn From My Mixtape, Simply the Best. Them two's mixtape. They're the two that made us like grime. They got us into grime, like proper, like, yo, this grime shit's crazy. These men like hybrids. You see what I'm saying?